will play games when we are very young, so our perception of the game is, well, twisted. When playing it then, we probably think it's the best thing ever, simply because we haven't played anything better. Well, that's the case with this game right here, the Polar Express. But I recently tracked down a copy of the PS2 version, and I figured, why not? So, I guess it's time to review one of my most nostalgic games from my childhood, and probably pick apart its many flaws. This is the Polar Express.
I first played this game when I was about 7, and at the time, I thought it was the best thing ever. It featured a lot of cutscenes from the actual movie, had an okay soundtrack, and was loads of fun. But of course, that was my younger self's perception. And as I said earlier, my perception of the game wasn't very true. So this game opens with a few passengers of the trains telling you they lost their tickets. And in classic game fashion, it's up to you to find it. But before we go on, I think it's time I name the character, because as a certain Moose pointed out in his video, the character has no name. So, let me think. Well, he grows up to be Tom Hanks, so a smaller Tom Hanks. I know! Tim Honks! So, Tim Honks is off to save the day, but I think I should point out who stole the tickets. It's Ebenezer Scrooge, but a puppet. Why? Because it's in the Polar fucking Express, and logic doesn't apply here! So, the first half of the game is spent going through the train cars and doing different little mini-games to be awarded by a ticket or a key to continue. So, let's go through each mentionable one. We first arrive at this dark place. Apparently, Scaredy McHobo right here is too scared to search for it alone, so we go through several boxes looking for his ticket. It may take some deliberation, but after a while you'll find it. The next one is a food fight with puppets. Yeah, apparently Scrooge somehow convinced the other toys on the train to come to life and fight for you. But really? Fucking really? I mean, I get that they couldn't have there be no enemies in this game, but why toys? I mean, that's like making a Friday the 13th game and having zombies. Oh. Bad example. Eventually we come to a stealth segment of the game. This segment seems like it's trying way too hard to be Metal Gear Solid, but just isn't. Since this is a Polar Express game, the mechanics for it are completely underdeveloped. And that's a major problem with this game. There are often parts or mechanics that you'll use twice max. And I know that they're trying to have a variety, but this isn't the way to do it. They should have had a central theme of gameplay and worked around that theme. If they'd done that, the whole thing would have turned out less messy. After you complete the Metal Gear clone, it's revealed that one of the girl's tickets is still missing, and so she will be thrown off of the train. So, then comes what I consider to be the best part of the game. Tim Honks climbs up on top of the train and starts chasing after them. And it is true that it takes an ungodly amount of time, and there is a time limit, but you'll be having so much fun that you won't even notice. Here you'll have to constantly dodge a barrage of different obstacles in different ways. And trust me, it's a lot cooler than it sounds. After a while of doing that, you'll reach Train Top Hobo. And this Train Top Hobo is also voiced by Tom Hanks, so he will be Tim Honks. Tim Honks tells you that in order to catch up with girl and conductor, you'll need to jump off of the train, ski down a fucking mountain, and jump back on the train. Polar Express. Our moral of the day is that if a hobo tells you to get on his back, do it! Ha ha ha! We are fucking amazing! Call and order your tickets now at 1-800 This Is Not a Fucking Scam. Now the weird part about this is actually how fucking frustrating the skiing part is. If you make one, and I'm not exaggerating here, fucking one mistake, then you have to start over. It's like the race from Star Fox all over again, except this time your opponents are the camera and control. And just like the train segment, this lasts for quite a while, so long that I literally zoned out while playing it. I mean it, I was gone. I was lost in a world of my own thought. But then you're shot back into the game as you appear back on the train. You then have to go through a game where you will collect parts and dodge boulders. Yeah, exciting. Yeah, well, Mod Pie would find this fascinating. It just didn't do much for me. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not good either. You just catch parts, chuck them, and dodge boulders. Simple as that. And next comes...
Up, down, left, right.
Wait a sec! I don't take LCD until 6. Wait, this is real?
Yes, you're not hallucinating. Even though I wish we were, we have to play a rhythm game. And for whatever reason, you can only use the D-pad for this. I don't get it, and I don't like it. And once again, this takes so long. It's painful to keep playing it over and over, but it never stops. Oh, look, it stopped. How convenient. After completing that pain, we are greeted with more train car segments. These include such enthralling experiences as catching mice, battling toys, and an ungodly box puzzle that I played for hours on end but can never seem to get better at, even after fucking weeks of trying. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it at all. But after much deliberation, I finally completed it. Tim Honks then goes into the next car to find... Oh, hey there. Yeah, for whatever reason, the developers thought this would be a good idea. I can just imagine the business meeting. Like one guy going, hey, you know what would make our game even better? If you fought a giant fucking Scrooge.
David, that's fantastic. Let's put those up all over town. Bruce, pack your shit up and get out of here. You're done.
It also doesn't help that the fight is embarrassingly easy. Well, by my standards today at least. Back when I first played this game, I would spend hour after hour trying to beat this boss. But now I can beat it in under 2 minutes. So I guess younger me just sucked. After you beat Giant McGee, he fades out of existence, never to be seen again. Tim then goes into the next room where the conductor asks you to be an extra waiter. Because you're gonna be a waiter. Ha!
Wait. Oh no.
Down, left, spin.
No! No! Dear God, please, no! No! No!
Yes, you have to play another fucking rhythm game. And once again, it goes on for what seems like forever. This one is a little better, but all of these minigames are just used for padding. They're just trying to make a short game longer with extra material. Ugh. After this game ends, you no longer spend any time in the train cars. Yeah, we're halfway through the whole thing. Yeah, it's going a lot quicker now that I don't suck. In the next segment, you have to steer a barreling train car down a ramp, avoiding obstacles and jumping over a ravine. I think my favorite part about this segment is the fact that there are parts where other train cars pass you, and I shit you not, you can hit them and knock them over. Fucking look at this! It's hilarious! You also have to avoid giant walls, and if you accidentally hit it, boom, you're dead. I don't want to be dead. Being dead sucks. After that train car comes to a stop, you enter a gift sorting room to chase after asshack but fucking bullshit over here, who's chasing his present even though it's not allowed. Well, it wasn't allowed in the movie anyway, but with all the holes in this game, it doesn't surprise me. This part actually comes very, very close to having some strategy. You just have to go around flipping switches and making conveyor belts go in different directions. But the game tricks you into thinking you're actually going somewhere. In actuality, you just have to find your way to the next switch and then see where it takes you. There are 3 parts to this segment, each one getting harder than the last, and introducing a new mechanic. These include a giant fan, a thing that if you actually used would probably break your fucking legs, and a present transporter. And hot damn, for being so simple, this part is incredibly boring. Just like before, I found myself completely shutting off and just playing the game without thinking. I actually find myself doing that a lot in this game, and since this is a kid's game, that's not a good sign.
Game designers, I'm gonna give you a tip. If you're designing a kid's game, don't make it boring. That's a no-no.
After completing the present conveyor belts, you fall into a giant present sack. Oh, I see how this game is going. Both of your companions tell you that the only way out is to go up. Then they start going down. Yeah, and they also tell you that they'll meet you. So the only way out is up, but they start going down and they say they'll meet you. Genuous. Absolutely fucking genuous. This is probably the most difficult part of the game, as you are constantly being barraged with an onslaught of killer presents. Oh, but not all of the presents are evil. In fact, you have to jump on some of them to continue. But going in, you notice that they hurt you, so why would you think to jump on them unless you took a shitty guess? I don't know. This is the Polar fucking Express!
Hey! I think I came up for a name for the sequel! It'll start Marcus Phoenix! Ah!
There are also various parts throughout this part where you can fall from very high up down to the beginning and then have to climb it all the way goddamn back up. Yay, bad game design! You also need all the continues you can get here because it's, as I said, very difficult. Believe it or not, these presents are actually nasty fuckers. Eventually, I finally finished and met up with the two people from before. Tim Honks and his friends were then found in the giant sack along with some nerdy kid from before. He isn't really focused on, so I'll just ignore him. Then in a weird twist of fate, Tim is called upon to steer a giant ship. Whoa, 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 what? Are you telling me that the pilot doesn't know how to fly the ship? The pilot? So if it wasn't for some random kid just happening to show up, the ship would have crashed and Christmas would have been ruined. Okay, whatever. I'll accept that. This part is a piece of cake compared to the last one, but that may just be because the ship controls surprisingly well. But it does come with a major problem. When, not if, you get caught under a bridge, it will kill you. It doesn't matter how much health you have, you'll die. But besides that, it's not that bad. It's a pleasant ride all the way to the end. When you arrive, you don't get to see Santa. Oh no, that'd be too satisfying. Instead, he gets on his sleigh and flies away. And that's the end. Yeah, no ending monologue or anything, just credits.
So that was the Polar Express. What did I think? I've played worse.
But don't get me wrong, that doesn't make it good. This game is riddled with problems, issues, and things that weren't in the movie. But as a licensed kid game, it's alright. Companies have tried and made worse games. It did have a lot of things wrong with it, but my nostalgia bar saves the game by just a little bit.
But nostalgia can't save everything, and it's no different here. That's why, with all the things I listed with this game, I have no choice but to give it a 4 out of 10. This was an extremely below average game. And don't give me the excuse that it's a kid's game, because honestly, I mean, there have been other good kids games out there, right? Oh, maybe I spoke a little too soon.
Up here where it's freezing, everybody needs some heat. No more ring-a-dinger, time to get up.